Folks, welcome back to Big Sky Big Takes with your host, Colby Peterson, and Montana Parlay. Parlay, I hear you're in Montana this week, back in the home country. How's it been up there, man?
Good so far. I got to see some family, two nephews and a niece. Didn't go to homecoming, was tempted, but rather spend time with family than watch us play a D2 team. So I'm going to the Idaho game. I'm repping the Montana picture in the background. Played some Montana poker with some dudes that I've known I've been in that poker game since 2007. So I always hit it up. That's why we're late. I apologize. Except now I'm mad at myself because I was trying to rush to get back. And if I would have played my game at the final table, I would have cashed. There's no doubt in my mind. Instead, I took fifth, one away from the bubble. Whatever. It is what it is. If I don't make money, you know that I'm going to make you guys some money. So let's get going here.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about last week. Where do you want to start, Parlay? You tell me. You want to talk a little bit about your giveaway, or do we want to go straight into preaches?
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway first, and then I'll start preaching. So I've been teasing out the tickets. So how we're going to do that is I've got 3 extra tickets, right? So between losing money on poker to get back here with you fine folks and spending money on tickets, this is costing me a lot. So you guys, just buy me or my friends a beer when you see me at the games, because boy, oh boy, I might not have any money left by the end of this season. Anyway, I got 3 tickets to give away. 3. And 2 of them are going to be given away based on very specific rules. All right. And I'm going to announce those rules on the Cat Grizz show. So the week before Cat Grizz, which is the week before Thanksgiving, we are going to announce exactly how you're going to qualify for that pair of tickets. That's going to be a hot commodity because that's like $400 value. Could be worth a lot more than that depending who's playing. I want you to go. If you resell them, I guess I can't chase you down, but I will hound you relentlessly online, making fun of you at every turn. So just be aware of that. All right. So that's the 2. The 2 are going to be explained meticulously. There's going to be an actual competition. Of course, it's going to be about building the Parlay brand and helping us out here at Big Sky Big Takes. But I'll announce the rules on the Cat Grizz show. Okay. So the other one, who am I giving that away to? However the hell I want. So, I mean, the people that comment, the people that share, I don't know, the people that say hi to me, people that tell other people that I'm the greatest ever, they all have a shot. You might even bribe me, maybe Venmo Montana Parlay. You never know what's going to lead to giving away that last ticket. I might hold on to it to the bitter end. I don't know. But I got 3 tickets. 2 are going to have strict rules. One's going to be I don't know.
Floater.
It's a floater. Bribe me. Show them. Impress me, people. Impress me.
There we go. All right. So that's kind of some info about the giveaway that Parlay's putting together for the national championship game. We'll be down in Frisco, Texas. Ticket prices went up a little bit this year, but like Parlay said, depending on the matchup, they could be even more expensive depending on whose fan base wants to show up. But if you can, make sure to get down there because it's a great time, and we all kind of hang out together, and just a lot of the folks in the podcast network and beyond just get to hang out with folks, chat, FCS football, great time. So Parlay, let's get into it.
Well, okay, so here's a problem. I am betting on the Grizz not being terrible. And so, of course, I'm going to preach on the Grizz being terrible. 2 weeks in a row, I have lost money because of their ineptitude. And that's my own damn fault, right? It should be fun to watch them suck so much, right? Grizz fans are probably going to hate this next 2 to 4 minutes, but guess what? It's going to happen anyway. Because you know that you're bad. You know that it's pathetic what your defense is doing. Yes, you have injuries, but this is ridiculous, right? You gave up more than 45 points in 2 consecutive games. That's horrendous, all right? Yes, I bet the Grizz minus 12.5 against lowly Eastern and lost. Yes, I bet under 61.5 when that line was too high, but not really too high, because you couldn't stop Weber. Hell, you couldn't stop Skyview High School at this point, and that's saying something because Skyview sucks. I went to Skyview. They've been terrible for almost a decade or more. Okay, so I just don't know what's going on with the defense because I've got some jokes about what Bobby's doing, but I can't, ask me about them in private because I can't share them now. But what is happening, Grizz? What the hell is happening? Are you this shallow in depth? I don't understand how you can let two mid team, no offense, Colby, but two mid or worse teams score more than 45 points on you back to back weeks. Weber scoring, how many did you guys score?
55.
55. Is your offense very good?
It hadn't been up until that point, right? There was a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of passing yardage that we hadn't seen thus far, right? And keep in mind, the Wildcats put up, I can't remember, was it 16 points or 17 points on Lamar, struggle there. And then they put up 26 points on McNeese, who got absolutely blown out last weekend. So to this point, it
Oof.
looked like, yeah, the offense wasn't very good. But then, like we said, 55 points in Missoula
Yeah.
on the
Right.
weekend.
And this is parlay preaches, so we don't need to too much about Weber. But the fact that they scored so little on Lamar and then 55 on in in Missoula at the Mecca, that is absurd. And all right, I'll pull it back and be a little self-reflective here because Montana State might not be any good, and I know they're undefeated, but who we've played nobody. And the how I'm finishing out the preaching segment is I'm worried that the Big Sky is just so this year. We're back in the Ash years where, yeah, Montana State might share or win the conference, but our defense, who knows? We might be passed on. Our offense, okay, we're looking all right against bad teams, but I'm a little worried that Montana State is second fiddle to the XDSU's. I'm more than a little worried. Now, if we do our job in the rest with the rest of our schedule and win out, no easy task, by the way. Idaho this weekend,
This
who
is the heavyweight bout,
we
right?
should beat, but their defense. When you play a good defense and a coach like Eck, there's no guarantees, not even at home. At UC Davis, that's going to be a tough one. I think we get Sack at home. Is that correct? I don't know, but and then of course the Grizz. They're not going to be the same team come November. They're not. They're going to get their guys back. They're going to figure out some schemes. Bobby's going to find the right mix of gin and tonics that make him coach a little better. I don't know why I just said that. That's just speculation. But here's the deal. Um, I don't know about the Big Sky this year. I think that we could easily beat South Dakota in the playoffs because they just haven't been around much, and they might pull a Sac State in the playoffs. But if we get SDSU or NDSU at home, we got a shot, and we probably will. If we win out, we're going to get at least the second seed, and the loser of the marker is going to get the third seed. So we're going to be facing SDSU or NDSU in Bozeman, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but when you see the Grizz play so poorly, we better be getting ahead of ourselves as Bobcat fans. That's it. Sermon's over.
Yeah, and it's a fair point about the Grizz because they always seem to give up this one upset game in the last, at least the last 3 or 4 seasons that I can think of. There was the Sac game. I think they gave up. They lost to NAU. Was it last year or something like this? They lost to Idaho at Wash Grizz. I think X first season there. They lost to us this year. There always just seems to be one of those games for the Grizz, and then, like you said, they kind of figure things out, and by the time they get to Cat Grizz, it's a brawl.
Well, the only thing is, it kind of hasn't been on the road for either the Cats or the Grizz at the last since Bobby came back. Like the road teams, like the Choate years, Choate's teams were underdogs all 4 years, and they won close ones 3 out of the 4 years. The last one we beat the crap out of the Grizz, but since then it's been all home teams all the time. So I think that's what it should be again this year, but I just have a weird feeling that they're going to find something. They're going to find a scheme, and they can score. And I don't think the Bobcats can stop a good passing game. And let's hope that they think, oh yeah, it's the better QB. Sure, yeah, play him against us. I'd love to see that. Anyway, probably need to move on to my favorite segment. Quite frankly, I know it's been done in other realms, but I think we're the only ones doing it in the FCS, at least in the way that it's meant to be. Whereas, where are the books going to put the lines? Because that's what matters. It's not like what do you think the score is going to be. No, it's what are the books going to put the lines at? Because then when we have a big discrepancy, we can make our bets and lose money on closing line value. Okay, that's another dig at the Cat and Grizz just not shutting down the teams they're supposed to shut down. Last week, you were kind of pulling lines out of your, you know what, Colby, and I feel like your tie is like a win because this is supposed to be my thing, and we both tied. You got 4, I got 4, and we were basically split one where we were off by the exact same amount of points. So we tied. I'll give tie to the first timer. Congrats. Tip my cap to you. What do you got on the slate for us this week?
So this week, it was kind of a struggle going across the FCS. There wasn't a ton that really caught my eye. Obviously, we'll talk about the Big Sky, and there are a number of matchups there. We'll talk about North Dakota State and South Dakota State's matchups. And then as I looked across the SoCon, the CAA, the NEC, there wasn't anything that jumped off the page for me except for this one Southland matchup. We've got, we'll talk about it at the very end, but let's start parlay with let's start with Northern Colorado at Weber because this is a game that I think is maybe a trap game. Weber always seems to get favored by double digits in these games, and they under-deliver. What do you got?
I mean, Northern Colorado, maybe it'll be trap as far as the spread goes, but you guys are still going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. The line's going to be at least 24.5. 24.5 is what I have. Probably will be higher.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think that it'll be Weber favored. 24.5 is a lot. The books always just seem to overestimate us, and Northern Colorado is bad. I think that I'm going to go actually a little bit higher than you on this one. I think they're going to go 26.5 is the line because Northern Colorado is bad. Weber overrated a lot of times.
You're going to win that one. Weber just came off a win at Wad Grizz. You're right. It'll probably be 27.5 or higher. So I'm already ceding that one to you. Next up, I'll let you go first on this one.
All right, we've got NAU at Montana. I think Montana's going to be favored here. This is going to be a bounce back game for them. It's at Wash Grizz. I think I'm going to go Montana by, I don't know. NAU's plucky. I'm going to say they're going to go Montana minus 10.5. That's what I think they'll do. I think the books will be sucked into the Grizz mystique and not knowing who NAU really is.
I really hope it's Montana minus 10.5 because, then I'll bet a lot on NAU and then I'll lose it because the Grizz will find themselves. They always do when I can lose money on it. I've got Montana minus 6.5. I think NAU's a better team right now. I think Wad Grizz is worth at least 6 points, and the books probably don't realize NAU's a better team. So I've got 6.5. It's probably too low, but that's what I'm going with.
All right. Not unreasonable. Let's take the next one. Portland State going to Pocatello to face the Stripes, who are coming off a win against Cal Poly. Apparently their first win in SLO in like decades. Stunned me. What do you have in this one, Parlay?
I've got Idaho State favored. The more I think about it, it's too low. I'm going 5.5.
Okay. Idaho State minus 5.5. I actually think that the books are going to favor Portland State here, which is dumb, but I think that they're not going to be believers in they don't think that this is a new Idaho State team. They're probably thinking historic Idaho State, and so they won't believe, and they'll look at Portland State and say, here's a mid-team favored over the traditionally poor team. I'm going to take PSU minus 3.5.
Okay. All right. Next one is Polly at Davis. What do you got?
Davis will be favored. I don't know, man. This one's tough because Pauley is bad. They did beat Northern Colorado on the road. I'm going to say Davis is favored by. I'm not willing to go as high as yours. I think I'm going to say Davis minus 15.5.
All right. I mean, Polly's a bottom three team in the conference, and Davis is a top three team. So I feel
Are
like you
they,
have
though? Are they?
right now they are. I mean, I don't know what being the third best in the Big Sky really means right now, but it means that they'll be favored by at least 21 and a half against Pauley at home, and I got 26 and a half, and I'm sticking with it.
All right. Understandable. I can see how you get there. I get it.
But they hung with Idaho. Well, they were at home, and Idaho State still beat them. So Davis has got to be favored by at least 20. I think we might have the spread right in the middle of us.
All right, next one. Eastern going down to Sacramento. What do you got, Parlay?
Are they both coming off a bye? Did Eastern play last week?
Thinking.
I don't think Sac did. Doesn't matter. I already put my line down. I got 19 and a half Sac State.
Okay. I think you're right. I think Sac will be favored. Eastern, bad team, but I think that the books are going to be swayed by their performance against Montana. I'm going to say it's going to be Sac, but something lower like 16.5.
All right. All right. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Here we are.
You get. Ooh, I almost want to save this for last, but because this is a late game too, it's going to be cold. I mean, this whole week. I didn't pack enough shorts. It's mid to high 70s while I'm in Montana. But Bozeman Saturday, 8:15 kickoff local time. The low for Saturday night is 35 last time I checked. So it's going to be cold because it's one of those things where 35 in Bozeman, that's nothing. That's shorts weather, right? But when you're used to 75, 80, and you get that first night below 40, which they've probably already had a few nights below 40, but I haven't had below 40, not I. So it's going to be chilly, and this is going to be interesting to see if this breaks the double-digit barrier. I haven't checked Sportsbook Montana after this afternoon or evening because they've been posting early now. I'm got 9.5 because I don't think they busted above 10. But the way this Idaho offense has been lately, they might have to bust it above 10 in Bozeman, even though I don't know if Montana State would cover that. But that's what I think it'll be. I'm putting 9.5.
Okay. Yeah, I think Bobcat Stadium is worth at least 5 or 6 points, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man, because Idaho is such a. They've been really good. They've had some. Who'd they lose to? Was it Davis that they lost to?
Yeah, they lost a close one to Davis. Another late game. That one got over at like midnight Central Time. So
I'm trying to determine how much the books are going to favor an Idaho team that has been good but maybe hasn't gone as deep as they've wanted to in the playoffs. I'm going to go maybe a little bit more than yours. I think I am going to go double digits here. I think I'm going to say MSU minus 11.5.
yeah, you probably got that. And I might have to do a little emotional hedge bet if it's above 10. Even though it is a revenge game, Ron
That's right.
pointed that out. I mean, I've been harping on that since I thought Idaho would be better than they actually are. I was a little worried about that game, but then I thought, in Bozeman, revenge game, we should win it. But now it looks like Idaho, man, they play their butts off for Eck, but I don't know if they've got the dudes to keep up with Montana State for 4 quarters. But Montana State hasn't had to play 4 quarters since the first game of the year, so it's hard to know. It really is hard to know.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's been a pretty soft schedule, aside from the FBS wins, right? Get that win against New Mexico, which is nice,
Yeah.
but not a lot of test for the Bobcats, so this will be a good one. So let's look at the Valley, man. North Dakota State going to Carbondale, right? SIU. What do you
You're
got
up.
in this?
You're up, buddy.
I think I'm gonna go. NDSU is gonna be favored here. SIU I think has underperformed. They've burned me a couple times. I thought they'd be better than they have been. I'm taking North Dakota State, and I think they're going to be favored by double digits here. I think I'm going to go minus 14.5.
Yeah, I think problem here is that it is on the road,
Yeah.
but NDSU's rolling right now.
Yeah,
I've been
they are.
underestimated. I was on their bandwagon as probably possibly better than South Dakota State this year, although you can't put them ahead because South Dakota State's dominated them and they still got Gronowski. But NDSU looks back in business, and SIU has got they're just plagued with injuries right now. So I'm going up. I'm going higher, 20 and a half, and it could even cross the 21. So 21 and a 20 20.5, 20 and a half is my pick for the line on that one. Even
Okay.
though NDSU's on the road.
Yeah. All right. Then the next one, Youngstown State taking the trip to Brookings to face South Dakota State. Man, this one is tough for me. Maybe you go first. You explain yours.
So since I'm going first, I'm bumping mine a little bit, and it's probably not high enough. I don't know why I'm giving you so much information here when I go first. But South Dakota State at home, hobo game. Oh shit, I forgot about
It's
that.
hobo game. Oh man.
Yeah, they're gonna be blackout drunk and rowdy. Ooh, boy, I'm going one more, and this is 24 and a half at home against Youngstown. Youngstown's not that good. They didn't even cover against the lowly Sycamores. Like, come on. Uh, Illinois or Indiana State's terrible, and they almost gave that game away in the second half. So they think they're going to come into South Dakota State and lose by less than 24. I don't think so.
I think you're right. I think that the books are gonna YSU. Ron's here saying YSU gets smoked. I think that's absolutely true. I think they probably will.
Oh, forgot about Gambler. But
Yeah, but
sorry,
I
I'm reading comments here.
I'm going to take South Dakota State here, but I think I'm going to go just slightly lower than you. I think, well, yeah, I'll go slightly lower, and I'll say South Dakota State minus 21.5.
Well, I had 20.5 before I started talking myself into all these hobo game scenarios and whatnot. And then I was just reminded in the chat that you're probably going to beat me on the NDSU line because even though I think NDSU will still win by 18 to 24, Cam Miller's out. So the books are probably going to adjust that line a little bit. So you've probably got that one. All right. What's this last one that you came up with?
Okay, so as I looked across the FCS, there wasn't a lot, like I said, but this one caught my eye. Southland, Texas A&M Commerce at Northwestern State. Northwestern State is bad, really, really bad. A&M Commerce has been not great either. They're both winless. What do you got, Parlay?
Well, when I opened up our rundown, and you make these nice little charts for me. Um, I'm like the boomer in this group, so I need the help where I can get it. And what I typed into my little square here was, "Who the hell are they?" Because I don't know who these teams are, and you picked a toilet bowl. I think you're just trying to be good across the FCS and bring some eyes onto some games that need some eyes. But I don't know if anyone will watch this game or bet on it. Well, there will be people betting on it because this is the world we live in. But I have no idea. I don't know. They're two. Neither of them has won a game yet. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I think they're both winless
And they're
for sure.
both from what conference? Are they same conference? Like what's happening?
Yeah, I think they're both Southland. Yeah.
Southland. Southland's the conference where they get an auto bid, and it's like why? Because every year the Southland Victor. I guess Sealaw, Slew, whatever they go by these days. They
Okay.
had a little run, but oh, Steven. Southland's not good. Okay, Incarnate Wood Nichols. Okay, they've got some teams that have been frisky. Oh boy, I don't know how to pick this. I'll do Texas A&M Commerce minus 3.5. I don't know why.
Oh, -3.5. I think that A&M Commerce is going to get more than they should.
Yeah.
They did put up 22 points on Davis.
Oh,
They ended up losing that game, but they got smoked by Sac State, 34 to nothing. So I think A&M is going to be favored here, but I'm going to go. Northwestern State is so bad that I think the books are going to over favor A&M Commerce. I'm going to put them up something like -8.5. Do they deserve it? Probably not. But
all right. You'll probably if you win that one, I'm not counting it. It doesn't count.
all right, and that is guess the lines. That's what we got for you this week, folks.
We started late. We've got some dedicated fans here, so I'm just gonna pop it in. Bear with us. I'm gonna see if they want to ask a question. I'll answer any question, anything, any question. It's parlay after dark. It's big sky big takes after dark. No question is gonna go unanswered. Whether or not I tell the truth, that depends on the question. But since y'all hung up with us this long, um, I'm an open book, and some updates here. I will be at the Idaho game. That's half the reason I guess I'm here in Montana. Well, work, family, all the good stuff. Football, family, making money. I mean, what else is there in this life, right? And
Cheese.
cheese,
Yeah.
food. Yeah, food. I forgot the other F, food. Yeah, you're right. And another game I'm going to. I just booked it. I'm going to the Davis game. The week before Cat Grizz, I feel like they need some more fans on the road, so I'm going. Hot take Nate will be there, probably wearing a tank top,
All right.
probably drinking a Coors. A buddy of mine I grew up with, him and his son will be there. It's going to be a good time. All right, here we go. Ooh, all right. How much? Ron asks, how much will the Cats beat the Grizz by? Well, if it happened today, I'm just going to tell you this. If that game was played this weekend and the Cats didn't win by at least 30, I would give up on them for the season. That's how bad the Grizz defense is.
It's
And
bad.
that's how much I care about winning the championship versus anything else. Like, whoop-de-doo, I don't care about making the semifinals, right? My expectations are too high right now. So, that being said, who knows what happens by the time the brawl rolls around. I think we're looking at a 17-point victory.
Okay. By the time it rolls around in November, you're thinking
Yeah,
Cats
I
by
think
17.
I think the Grizz will make some adjustments. They'll get some guys healthy. They can score. 17 might be a little cocky because the Grizz will be able to score on us. I know that. But we're at home. We should be a lot better this year. Quite frankly, if we don't win by at least 2 touchdowns, just pack it up and just, you know, call it a top 5 finish, which I don't know. Cat fans, maybe you're happy. I'm happy to be at the games, but come playoff times, I want to make it to Frisco. Pure and simple. Pure and simple.
Understandable. Um, yeah, man. I was gonna say, watch out for Keelan White, dude. That guy torched us this weekend. So if Fife and White are hooking up the way they did against Weaver,
Yeah.
it's a. And I hope your secondary's good.
Well, that's why I want Ayat to get some momentum. He's so awesome. He should play every game. Because no, I don't want to see Fife against the Bobcats. I don't. And there's probably some Grizz fan pods and other Grizz fans that disagree with me, but I would rather face Ayat than Fife. Famous last words, I'm sure, because his father torched us more than once. Yeah, now I'm going to get PTSD.
All right, man. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this week?
Not really. It's past my bedtime. I mean, if you keep me on the mic any longer, I'm going to say something that I might regret. So let's call it a night. And next week, maybe I'll be able to stick to the time that we agreed upon. But no guarantees. You know how to you know where to find me: Twitter, Instagram, at Montana Parlay, FCS Fans Nation on Facebook and other social medias. Follow us, share us, like us, be nice to us, please.
All right.
Or not. You don't have to. It's fun. Colby, how about you? What do you got to send the
Uh,
people away?
I think that shoot, man. All I'm saying is I'm just enjoying football right now because I realize like we're in October now already. Like, dude, it's October now. Like we are almost halfway through the season. So shoot, man. For teams like mine that probably aren't going to make the playoffs, just soak it in, man. We've probably got 4 or 5 more good weeks, and then we're on the couch watching the playoffs with everybody else and looking forward to hanging out with everyone in Frisco. So enjoy the football while you got it, man, because, man, is it sweet.
All right.
And
Yep.
with that, parlay out.
Peace.